Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over my picks for the top 10 best drivers cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. So the cars on this list are going to be related to driving and doing that particular thing very well. This does not mean that the cars are all going to be super top speed heavy, acceleration heavy, they're not going to be the fastest cars in the game, but cars that are super fun to drive on like a twisty road and have a good combination of performance as well as looks, customization, and engine sound. Leave a like if you enjoy the video, dislike if you don't, consider subscribing if you're new, and let's go ahead and get started with number 10. At number 10, we have the Invitero Coquette Blackfin for $695,000. And I hate to start off the list with a removed vehicle because technically this thing is not purchasable on the websites right now, but you can get it from another player or through the dealerships whenever it goes into them. But the Coquette Blackfin is a worthy initial car to talk about. It released in 2015 with the Ill-Gotten Gains update, and the Blackfin has remained one of my favorite cars to cruise around in all this time. It's incredibly good for attacking a twisty back road way faster than it should be able to, especially since it's technically a muscle car in GTA Online. The handling of the car is pretty awesome. It occasionally has a little bit of oversteer, but it's like the perfect amount. It's exactly what you want. The top speed is only a measly 115 miles per hour, but it's not all about that, as we know. It's got some good customization options, most importantly being a spoiler option to help maintain traction. One of the main reasons I think this car is such a good driver's car though is due to the fact that this car makes an absolutely incredible engine sound, and especially when you let off the throttle, pops and bangs, and still to this day I think it's a relatively unique engine sound in GTA Online, which is quite rare. It can also have a roof or be topless, which is a nice feature for a car like this. If you get the chance to buy this vehicle, I definitely would recommend you to buy it. Moving on, at number 9, we have the Lampadati Furore GT for $448,000, and this thing lacks anything other than driving ability. It has precisely zero customization other than the color of the car and what wheels it drives on. It's also a removed vehicle, so if you want one, you're gonna have to get it from someone else or wait for it to appear in a dealership. However, this vehicle is actually awesome for driving. It's rear-wheel drive, relatively lightweight, and decently quick for how cheap it is. The handling of the car is awesome, it turns into corners well, and it might even try to give you a tiny bit of oversteer on the exit of a corner. It's very, very well balanced. It's relatively slow though, especially if you've been driving HSW cars. It does top out at just shy of 121 miles per hour, which to be fair is actually really good top speed wise, especially for a car that was released all the way back in 2014. The acceleration is alright, nothing too special, but the car sounds really cool as well. Occasionally when you let off there's a bit of popping and banging that can be heard from the exhaust, which is a nice feature. Overall, if you can get it for $448,000 or on sale, this is a really, really good driver's car. At number 8, we have the Grotti Turismo Omaggio for a big step up in price at $2,845,000. But the Omaggio is such a fun car to drive in GTA Online. It's got ridiculous handling with super responsive steering, and it grips the road like crazy. You can send it into tight corners at full tilt and it will barely flinch, and the rear end stays planted despite being rear wheel drive only. Now, all of those things it should do for a nearly $3 million supercar, but it also launches off the line faster than pretty much any other rear wheel drive car in the game, I think. Short of muscle cars with the wheelies, I guess. Acceleration wise, it's pretty quick to get up to its top speed of nearly 123 miles per hour, which seems really slow to me, but when you're driving this car, it'll feel really fast. Looks-wise, it's also got that modern Ferrari sleek, aggressive look, like the 488 Pista or F8 Tributo, for example, and it's easily one of the best looking cars in the game. My biggest issue with this car is that it doesn't have a secondary color option, but other than that, it's got pretty much everything that you will want as a driver's car. If you're into cars that are actually fun to drive and not just all about top speed, the Turismo Omaggio is 100% worth picking up, although it will cost you a lot of money, and I do feel like there are some better driver's cars in the game, hence it making the list but being a little bit higher up on it. Next up at number 7, we have the Ubermacht Cypher for $1,162,500 if you have the trade price to $1,550,000 if you don't have the trade price. This car is kind of like an improved version of the Lampadati Furore GT that I mentioned a few spots ago on the list. It's a two-door coupe with relatively low weight and good power, which is a great combination for a good driving experience. The Cypher is also a tuner's DLC vehicle, meaning it can also have a stance mode available for it through the interaction menu, which when active will make the car more likely to spin its wheels and generally have less grip, but it will also increase the top speed slightly above what it is normally, which is normally 114 miles per hour. Another cool feature about the Cypher that makes it just an even better driver's car is the fact that you can equip it with a drift tuning upgrade for $200,000 at the LS car meet. Doing this will make the car actually drift. And also, due to it being a tuner's DLC vehicle as well, it is available to be used in LS car meet races, and it has a ton of customization options available for it. It's based off of the BMW M2, which is regarded by many people as one of the best driver's cars of the last 10 years, and I think it's a super enjoyable driving experience in-game as well. At number 6, we have the Pegassi Tempesta for $1,329,000. And this car is hands down one of the best driver's cars in GTA Online. Now, as far as supercars go, it's not the fastest supercar out there, topping out at just under 122 miles per hour, pretty similarly to the Imaggio, but what it lacks in top speed, it makes up for in handling. This thing sticks to the road like glue. The steering feels super sharp and responsive, so you can throw it into corners with confidence and it will just hold on. It's also all-wheel drive, which helps it to stay planted even if you're pushing it hard through the corners. And on top of that, in my opinion, it looks absolutely incredible, clearly taking a lot of inspiration from the Lamborghini Huracan. And despite being older, it has aged quite well since it was released in early 2016. Which is crazy to think about. Sadly, customization wise, there's not a whole lot that can be done with the car, but there are some good front bumper and spoiler options to choose from, which is good. Overall, for the money, this is a great car for free mode driving or racing, unless you're up against some of the newest supercars or HSW supercars. It also sounds absolutely incredible, and I think it's an awesome car. Moving on to number 5, we have the Vapid Dominator ASP for $1,331,250 to $1,775,000. And when you think of a great driver's car, I'd wager most people wouldn't inherently think of an early 2000s Mustang. But I promise you, in-game, the Dominator ASP is a very fun vehicle to drive. It dominated the muscle racing category for a few months before the release of the Bravado Buffalo STX, which later replaced the ASP as the best car, and later it was replaced by HSW cars like the Vigoro ZX. This vehicle, though, similar to the Cypher, is a tuner's DLC vehicle, so it gets access to the same stance mode as the Cypher, and it's available to be used in the LS car meet races as well. It also gets a bunch of additional customization options as well. Top speed wise, it normally tops out at just under 119 miles per hour, but with the stance mode on this car, you can reach more like 130 miles per hour, I would estimate. It's got incredibly good handling and a great turn in response, and just a touch of oversteer occasionally when you're exiting a corner. This car can and will do pretty much anything you ask of it on the road. I must say it's a little on the expensive side for performance, but at the end of the day, it is an awesome driver's car in GTA Online. At number 4, we have the Grotti Turismo Classic with HSW for $705,000 for the initial purchase price of the vehicle, plus an additional $1,602,000 for the HSW upgrade. And the Turismo Classic has dominated the sports classic category ever since it was released into GTA Online back in mid-2017. And it's only gotten better as time has gone on. In 2022, it was one of the initial vehicles that got access to the HSW upgrades. If you apply HSW to the vehicle, the top speed jumps from 121 miles per hour, which was always solid, to a whopping 151 miles per hour, with the acceleration and handling improving as well. With HSW, this is genuinely one of the most fun cars to drive in the entire game. It's a bit of a handful initially, but with some practice, it becomes super viable for getting around mountain passes and curvy roads quickly. It's rear-wheel drive, and with or without HSW, it will oversteer on you, but it's fairly easy to counter it. Customization-wise, there's also a fair amount that can be done to it, and it's based heavily off of the Ferrari F40, which is largely regarded as one of the best, if not the best, Ferrari ever made. In-game, it is an absolute blast, and I highly recommend purchasing it. At number 3, we got the Ocelot Locust for $1,625,000, and this car is absolutely incredible for carving up curvy roads with ease. Its extremely low weight coupled with low center of gravity and its small frame make it perfectly suited for this type of driving. The acceleration pairs nicely with the handling ability of the vehicle, meaning it's not too fast for what the car is capable of handling in the corners. Top speed wise, it maxes out at 120 miles per hour, which is about what you should expect for a car like this. It does have some customization options, but I will say my biggest gripe with this car is the fact that it's topless and you cannot fit a roof onto it. You can, however, fit a fairly goofy looking roll cage that's shaped an awful lot like a roof, but you can't get a roof. Overall, I don't think the Locust is the best looking car ever, but it certainly drives incredibly well, and that is all that counts for this list. I would highly recommend this thing. It is an absolute blast to drive. And number 2, we have a brand new vehicle with the Ubermacht Sentinel GTS for $1,629,000 to $2,172,000 if you don't have the trade price, which is really easy to unlock, by the way. You just do a 10-minute quickie farm mission and you'll save yourself like 600 grand. Very worth. The BMW G80 M3 based Sentinel GTS is a fantastic driver's car. It's rear-wheel drive with excellent handling. Driving this car is so easy because it's all so precise and predictable. It does exactly what you want it to do at all times, and despite being rear-wheel drive, it feels like it's on rails. It's genuinely hard to lose control of this vehicle. Again, for a rear-wheel drive car, the acceleration and launch of the car are also incredible, and it has a top speed of over 132 miles per hour, and it's pretty hard to beat this car, especially for the money. And for only $4,000 more than the previously mentioned Ocelot Locust, there's a lot of value here. It's got some great customization options as well, and it sounds good. It looks great. It's an awesome vehicle. I definitely recommend picking this one up. For an honorable mention, we have the Bravado Gauntlet Hellfire for $745,000. And while I know not everyone will agree with this car even making the list, I think everyone can agree that this car is a lot of fun. And that fact, to me, inherently makes it a great driver's car. The Hellfire is a fairly cheap way to get a lot of tire smoke going, while not really going very far, initially at least. This thing is a classic muscle car in that regard, and it's being based off the Dodge Challenger Hellcat in real life. It's a fairly accurate in-game depiction of that vehicle as well. It's pretty quick in a straight line once you get moving, and the wheels stop spinning. The car maxes out at 125 miles per hour. You can slide this car around for days, and with enough practice you can actually almost get it to behave like a normal car and perform as such. It's great for going to car meets or cruising around. It's also very good for drifting as well. Customization wise, there's plenty of options to make it unique and spec it out how you want to. While it's not a driver's car for everyone, it's definitely a driver's car for those that like it. But at number 1, the number 1 driver's car in GTA Online is the Pfister Comet SR for $1,145,000. Being based off of a Porsche 911 means with this car we're already off to a pretty good start. The Pfister Comet SR came out way back in early 2018 alongside the Doomsday Heist update. Since release, this has been a fan favorite, but in recent years with HSW casting a large shadow over anything non-HSW, I feel like this car's popularity has wavered. Despite this, it's actually still one of the best non-HSW sports class cars in GTA Online for racing on circuits, largely due to the fact that this thing has incredible handling and it can keep speed through corners very well due to the high downforce of the vehicle. Now, despite having a top speed of only 122 miles per hour, it can keep up with a lot of heavy hitters in the sports category. The acceleration and launch are both excellent for a car that's rear-wheel drive, and it's got a good amount of customization options for when it was released, and it has a very good sounding exhaust. Some high-pitched revving matched with some nice overrun like pops and bangs from the exhaust. Overall, for how quote-unquote cheap this car is compared to some of the others we've talked about, I felt like this was deserving of getting the top spot on this list for sure. So there you have it, guys. Those are my picks for the 10 best drivers cars in GTA Online in 2025. Let me know if you think I missed anything in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you didn't, of course. Consider subscribing to my channel if you guys are new, and let me know some other top 10s you guys would like me to make. With all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.